welcome to Rec Room World and VP Cabs, guys. As promised, this video is going to address the current state of affairs of the 3.0 software that's made available for the Ultra VP here soon. We're nearly at the end of this massive effort, so I'm going to first introduce you to the brand new menu system that we have custom programmed for this. As you can see, it's on the main play field, and it will include access to the individual programs. The reason we created this is so that it enables us to load individual programs and then exit them completely, not leaving any traces and allowing for the system to work better. Also, one of the reasons is the Jukebox here, as you can see, has its own category, and I'm going to start with that. I'm going to use my flipper buttons to go down and then jump in with the fire button. For those of you who do not have a fire button, no worries. Your launch button will do the same. As you can see here, you'll have the ability to, of course, launch a Jukebox. The Jukebox will have over 5,000 music videos. That's a huge increase over the last version, which had 1,900. That is all done. In other words, these are all in there and ready to go. The music genres, that's going to be a future add-on, but we put it in here already. As you can see, we will create playlists for all these different categories, so don't expect that to be in the 3.0 release right away, but it's going to be done fairly quickly after that. Hopefully by mid-year we should have an update for this, but it's going to be released, of course, with the new 4.0 release. But I wanted to show you that that's kind of the future of everything. The good news here is that you can go back and create your own playlists, as you can see, right? You have up to 10 playlists that we allow for, and there is a playlist generator. That playlist generator, let me actually jump in. I'm going to use my left flipper button to go backwards. Let's see. Yeah, backwards into it. There you go. And I will show you this here in a second. So it's going to pop up this guy here. You're going to use your keyboard and mouse for this, of course, in order to create your playlists. But just so you see, it says Ultra VP Jukebox Playlist Creator. This thing has, you can add or remove songs from a playlist. So right now I'm just going to click on, use my mouse and click on Add Songs. Once I do that, it will populate, it will show you the playlists you can populate. Right here are all 5,000 songs you can select from. There is a pull down bar, and in front of each song there is a check mark box. So I'll go down and use the scroll bar, and let's just add a few. I'm going to check mark playlist 1 first. That playlist, as you will see, there we go, already has some content. Let me actually click on it again. There we go. See, that's the content already. I'm going to go ahead and add some One Republic here to it. So I'm going to check mark what I want. There you go, those 2 songs. Then I will click on Add Songs, and what it's going to do, it's going to copy those songs over to that playlist, adding that effectively to your choices. All you need to do is hit the X here, and voila, that takes care of it. It will come right back into the main menu, and that takes care of the playlist. In order to launch the playlist, you're going to, of course, launch it from here, and it will only launch the actual playlist that you just populated. Now, one of the reasons that we have not officially released this software yet is because there are a few inconsistencies. I mean, I would call it instabilities with the menu system. We are nearly there. I think we need probably another couple of weeks or so to get all of this under control. One of the things that I've noticed is that running these playlists that we've created, launching them is not always consistent and doesn't always pop open. So that needs to be addressed, and we will do that right after the holidays. But as you can see, everything else looks nice and is working. Now let's go back to the main menu. There we go. Getting into pinball tables. Well, all that does is exactly that. I'm going to hit that and we will show you what it does. It literally launches the system like it always has in the past, right? that takes you into Pinup Popper. As you can see, we are now using the curved selection bar, and that has everything to do with some of the loading, the tables, their loading screens actually filling in the void underneath here. So we're kind of moving along with everybody else out there in the virtual pinball community in terms of how things are done. This is a preferred way of doing things now, okay? So when you go to all games, you can see that we have literally now 2,303 tables in there. Now, let me make sure that you understand, we did not remove anything. The effort to get from 2.5, which had around 1,400 and some tables, to this level was actually horrendous. It took over 2,000 man hours to do that, which is why it took so long. And the reason we had to skip a year is because the person that was actually doing our software in the past decided not to work with us anymore. So we are now in charge of, coordinating everything with a team of, basically a team of 12 people that own the Ultra VP and are interested in keeping the software up to date. I refer to these guys as the third party. It's not an in-house effort, but it is definitely being worked on in conjunction with our input. There's no doubt about that. We, of course, have to maintain some control over what this all looks like. But in terms of the actual heavy lifting, creating the menu system, adding all these tables, keeping them up to date, making sure they work, that is being done by that group of guys. So a big shout out to these guys that have been working on it and helping. It's not easy, it takes a lot of work, and we're going to continue releasing new versions of this software now on a yearly basis, which is, that's a promise that I make. I stand behind it. Again, there was a bit of a snafu internally with, the person that took over and was doing it and then decided not to. So we had to kind of regroup and do all of this more in a different way. All right, guys, so now that you see how this looks, of course, this is the attract mode. So it's going to go around and it's going to jump around between different modes. With the OLED monitor, that's especially important to prevent burn-in. So do not stay inside of a table that is static all the time to prevent burn-in on OLED monitors. Stay in here. It's going to jump around and show us, content. But yeah, it's definitely much better. As you can see, we have 3 versions of the 24 table. We will eventually go and remove some of these versions as time goes on to alleviate the software to get too big. We're going to be needing a 2 terabyte drive moving forward. So those of you who have a 1 terabyte drive will have to upgrade to a 2 terabyte drive that we will make available. We will also make sure that everybody gets 2 drives always. It's super important that we have that clone copy. A lot of you have really appreciated that over the years when something went wrong with the hard drive or something got screwed up by Windows. That all happens. To have that hard drive available right away and not have to wait until we send you another one. So as you can see here, we have the A through Z category still. We have the just added category. That kind of shows you the amount of tables that were added, right, since the last release. So everything that's been added or touched is in this category. So about 1,166 tables. When you jump out of this, you have JP Salas's collection of tables here. Mods, meaning that's a new category. Those are all the different people that make mods, modded tables. Balutito, Biggest Mods, Iceman. We have our La Rulas mods, Tyson mods. All of this is in here. So if you click on Tyson mods, you can see there are 74 tables. He's especially working on the older EM type tables, but he makes them look really nice, as you can see. So that's what he's been known for. Absolutely gorgeous, as you can see, more three-dimensional looking, and I'm sure they also play better. A lot of these newer tables that you guys are going to enjoy with the 3.0 release will have surround sound improvements, so you're going to hear the ball move around the playfield better than in the older versions. Of course, the graphics are enhanced, and most likely also some of the bumpers and you know, effects, and the sound effects are also improved. So let me jump back out of here. We have, I'm going to go, the highly recommended category has been added. Those are tables that we as a group think should really be played, that we think are awesome. So we will continue to fine-tune this as time goes on moving forward. But yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, this machine is just, the 8.0 OLED is a beauty, and with the new software it's going to shine. Top 100, that's based on the top 100 online charts as much as we can. Of course, your adult category is not going to change. We will still have the password in here, and you'll have to punch that in order for you to get to these more adult and even gory tables. The playlists haven't changed much. We still have the kids tables, holiday tables, horror tables, and stuff like that in here. Movies, music tables, originals, racing. All of that is still here. Nothing has changed from that. Before we do the final release, I'm going to ask them to take out the decades categories, like, you know, the 2010s, 2000s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all of that into the front level menu. Should be easy to do, but just a little extra fine-tuning here needed. Non-flipper games have been expanded. We have more of them now, so 29 of those games are in here. All that is, you know, we keep enhancing it. By manufacturer is still there. Future Pinball is there. And yes, we will make sure that that latest table from Terry Red, He-Man, is in there by the time this gets released. Most played is obviously a function of Pinup Popper. It knows what you've been playing. Then we have the randomizer. So if you don't know what to play, you can you know, just hit that and it will give you choices, you know, what to play. I think it's like 4 choices. Then last but not then there's a recently played. Again, that's Pinup Popper functionality. Visual Pinball X. Again, there are 2006 VPX tables in here right now. The number will not go up much before release, just so you know. There is not going to be a whole lot that we will add. You know, it's going to be what it is, and then if there's a table missing that you guys were hoping for, well, we're going to have to wait until the next release, or you have to learn how to install your own tables. And when you do that, make sure you make a clone copy of the primary drive and work off of the clone copy only. Do not do it off of our drive, so that we can support you correctly. VPin Workshop, of course, those are the VPins, you know, tables. Really cool tables, as you guys all know. I mean, look at the beauty of these things. This is the AC/DC table. Bat Cats is one of my favorites, the way they redid that. Absolutely incredible. Now, let's go back out here. Favorites, that's up to you. You put your own favorites into this category. We provide instructions on how to do that, and that allows you to cut through all of these thousands of tables to just replay what you like. All tables is where we started this whole thing. So that's kind of where we are on this. And by the way, when you're ready to exit this, you know, an interface, all you have to do is hit the blue button here, the extra ball button, a few times until you see this bluish selection menu. And you're going to want to go to system menu here, right? So you are going to go here, there, system menu. And then in here, there is this thing called System Exit. So you're going to hit that. And once you do that a few times, you are right back into the menu that we've created that allows you to go to the next category, which are the VR pinball tables. I will not demonstrate those tonight. I do not have my VR headset connected, but needless to say, there will be about over 300 tables, VR tables in here. And that will continue being updated. Super fun. Actually, according to those third-party developers, the boys are saying that it is really the way forward. I mean, if you want to maximize the 3D effect of your tables, you want it to look as good as it can. That is, if you can stand wearing a headset, we will support the MetaQuest 2, 3, and the new 3S. not other brands for that right now. Not that it's not possible to do, it's just we're limiting it to all the Meta headsets to get started. Let's talk about arcade games. Okay, so arcade games is going to launch the CoinOps Vertical Legends 3 application. So here it is. This is what it's going to look like as a preview. So you can see up on top you have your marquee, and then here it shows you the preview of the game. What you're going to need for this is an 8-bit do controller. These are wireless controllers. They're easily accessible, purchased on Amazon, or you can buy them from us. The cable that you see there is connected to one of the USB cables underneath the new models, but you can of course also use the USB cables in front of your soft shutdown button if you do not have a newer model. These guys are wireless, and we have configured everything that you see on here to work with this. 1 or 2 controllers, of course. That is going to be working 100% since we spend the time to tie them with the hardware ID to the actual machine. So there's no way that it can jump around and mess up your IDs like on the previous release. So let me go through some of these guys here in terms of what that looks like for you. And by the way, some of you guys have made comments about the glare on these things. The reason that's not an issue is because we created this in such a way that it can be turned off. Okay, nobody asks you to keep these on. You can turn them off. You can keep the glare off of there completely. I'm standing in front of the machine right now. It doesn't bother me anywhere close to the extent that you're seeing it in the video. The video enhances it. So that's just a side note I wanted to point out. Let's see what else. Yeah, so in terms of games, I believe there are about 300 some games on here that you can play. So it's going to be pretty neat. All your big titles are on here. Your Miss Pac-Man, your Donkey Kong, all of that stuff is there. Plus a lot more. This being a classic Bomb Jack here, as you can see. There you go. Bosconian, Bubble Bob, Buck Rogers, Jumpin', Run and Jump, Burger Time, beautiful. Okay, all right, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to jump out of here. So just so you know, I use the exit button to jump right back into the main menu system. Now, what's important to understand here is that we are also going to have the how-to manuals on here. So nobody's going to need to, I'm going to jump in here, go back and find the emails that we've sent you guys in the past. These how-to manuals will, of course, continue to be updated as time goes by, but this is going to give you access to how to get access to support when you need it, how to use manual, the hardware overview as a general overview of how does this machine actually work, how do you test the hardware and so on. So that's going to be in here. A quick start video, so when you get your machine, your ANSI, you want to play, this is going to be that. Introduction, probably just an introduction about, in general, the actual menus, how to get in and out of different areas of the game. Adding and removing tables will eventually be addressed for those. That's going to be high level. We're not going to be supporting that at the micro level, so don't call us to get assistance to install a specific table. That's not what we do, but you will have definitely a lot of good information here on how to learn and where to find these things. Same here with the add and remove songs. That will be more comprehensive and tell you how to add additional MP4 files and how to create these labels and then add them to your jukebox. And of course, back to the main menu. So I'm going to jump back down. There we go. And that takes care of it, guys. I mean, this is what the new software will be like. Now, when exactly it will be released and what when it's 100% stable is the answer, right? Right now, there are still instabilities on the software, like I said, especially on the menu side of things. Everything else seems to be working pretty well. I just need to get the boys motivated early January to come together and really put the final nails on that coffin, and then we will announce it. Now, something I want to make sure you all understand: we will not open up the floodgates to everybody at once. There is no way we can handle it, and it will only cause frustration. So we are going to start out, with the new 8.0s that we sent out for Christmas. Those will receive the missing copies that we did not include first. That shouldn't take long, should take about a week or two at the most. And then we're going to start going backwards, right? 7.0s, 6.0s, 5.0s, 4.0s, 3.0s. Now let's talk about people that have a 4.0 or a 3.0 machine. You guys do not have, as you well know, a full DMD, which this software requires. So we encourage you to consider two things. Either you can go, and there is the ability to purchase an upgrade kit that's going to allow you to change the front of your machine to then show the entire full DMD that is actually behind. We do have the full DMD. The monitor is big. It's just it wasn't cut out that way, right, initially. So that's one way, and we will make that information available to you guys as needed. And then the other way is to just take the monitor that is in here and then bring it forward and mount it in the front. Those are all do-it-yourself projects. We do not offer that service, but that's one way for you guys that have 3.0s and 4.0s to move forward. I would also venture to say that the 3.0s and 4.0s will require at the very least, a graphics card upgrade. I would just go and put a little bit of money into them if you don't want to upgrade to this type of newer system, and just put a new computer in. The PCs we will be offering as an upgrade for customers that have 3.0s and 4.0s, or any other model for that matter. I don't think anybody that has a 6.0 model is going to see any issues. I think anything 6.0 or above will run fine with this software. VR tables might require a beefier graphics card, but everything else should be fine. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Again, thanks for all your support this year. Let's make 2025 even better. We have an awesome hardware platform. Now we just need to adjust the software to make it as good as it can be. Happy New Year.